Why are ticks so hated? This is part of a Common Sense Lyme series where I discuss cases and questions that come up in my practice. I'm Dr. Cameron. So let's begin. Now, first of all, ticks are tiny, stealthy, they carry disease, and they're hard to detect, they're easy to spread. They can spread diseases like Lyme, but as the scientists have been discovering, they also carry parasites like Babesia. They've always known that Rocky Mountain spotted fever are in some ticks, anaplasmosis, ehrlichia, and viruses like the Powassan virus. Now, they often lead to an invisible bite because they're painless due to a saliva that they can excrete. They feed 36, 72 hours, maybe longer, and they can pass rather quickly the Powassan virus. And even though they say 24 to 36 hours for a deer tick to transmit Lyme, I've seen cases that get transmitted before that. It's still not clear what the number of hours is from my perspective, but the CDC says it's got to be on like 24 to 36 hours before it transmits Lyme. They don't have any rules as to how long before transmitting other tick-borne illnesses. Nymphs are also hard to spot, or even adults are hard to spot. They can hide in various areas you might not check, your hair, the groin, armpits, but even in invisible places, I've seen patients where they're shocked that they missed that tick. So nymphs are the most common problem because they might be overlooked, but I have plenty of patients where the adults are the problem. They just didn't see them. There's an expanding range of ticks. So just think if you're safe, you think you're safe, your yard doesn't have any cases, they don't have cases in your area, the climate's changing, there's more ticks, birds are carrying more ticks around, other animals are carrying ticks, and surprisingly enough, there's actually a lot more ticks all over the country than you might think. They just haven't been identified because there's 3,000 counties in America alone, and they don't have enough entomologists on the ground to look for ticks. Also, just when you think there's no ticks, they show up the next season. So even suburbs, you're not safe. So you should be aware that ticks can be active all year. So just when you think you can go out in the winter, a little bit of sun can beat down on some leaves and brush, and a tick somehow finds a way into you. Also, when you have pets, which is great, but pets tend to find their way into where the ticks are, and they can bring a tick home. Now, a parasite behavior alone gives you the willies. So it can latch on, it can feed for days. One study said that they can grow to 200 times the size of a nymph, but I'm not sure. I just know it's much bigger and much more visible after several days. You also have to be careful because even improper removal, like squeezing it, can allow the infection to regurgitate into the body, and you might be more likely to get an infection. Also, you could get a local skin infection from staph or strep as that tick is removed. So the takeaway is that ticks require high surveillance, being aware of them, looking out for them. Prevention's key. Tick check is useful. Other measures have been introduced to try to reduce the number of tick bites, as well as getting that tick off safely would help. But frustratingly is that Lyme disease is still occurring even in people who have taken every precaution. And so be aware, be vigilant, and take care this summer. Thank you for joining me for this Common Sense Lyme series. Have a good day.